Ethan travels to and from work by train. The probability the train he travels to work on is delayed is 0.2. So this is to work, and delayed is 0.2. And if it's delayed, the probability of it being 0.2, it's been delayed. The probability of not being delayed, that is obviously going to be 0.8, because it's absolutely certain that the train will either be delayed or not delayed. Now I need to put these things in. If the train he travels on to work is delayed, that means I'm going up the top branch here. The probability the train he travels home on is also delayed is 0.9. So that will be 0.9. If it's delayed, the chance of it being not delayed will be 0.1. If the train he travels on to work is not delayed, that's going down here, the probability he travels home, the train he travels home on is delayed is 0.4. And so this one here, the probability is not delayed, if it's that one's first not delayed, will be 0.6, because these two have got to add up to 1, these two have got to add up to 1. So it does that first bit, and now I can work out the probability that on one day exactly one of his two trains is delayed. So I can either get delayed on the first one, and then it's going to have to be not delayed, or it's going to have to be not delayed on the first one and then delayed on the second one. That's the only way for exactly one. As always for tree diagrams, I always put a cross there to mark that route. That means I reminds me I have to times the probabilities. So that's 0.2 times by 0.1. When I'm timesing decimals, I do 2 times 1, and that gives me 2. And I've got one number, 2 numbers after the decimal point, so my answer must have 2 numbers after the decimal point. So it's got to be 0.02, and we not write it as 0.02. And this one here, I can mark it across because to remind myself to times them, and that'll be 0.8 times by 0.4. Same way, decimals times by decimals, 4 eighths, 32, and I've got 2 numbers after the decimal point, so my answer must have 2 numbers after the decimal point, so that'll be 0.32 or 0.32. And I've got to work out, so it's either going to be that route or that route, and that means I'll add these two. So 0.02, well, I've written it nicely here, one's above the other. If I add those two, that'll be 4. 0 and 3 is 3, and that'll be point, comes underneath that. So the answer is 0.34. And sometimes it's nice to actually make sure that you lay the question out so you can do an addition if you need to. And that's question 10 done.